What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. The shop has been moving really well. We have everything laid out where it's supposed to be. We still have some cleaning up to do, like up there and all on the racks. But aside from that, we're going to be starting our first project of the year, which is going to be this 91 Nissan Hardbody. Before I got the shop, Junior and I were having a conversation about building a truck, and he wanted me to build his little hardbody and do something crazy with it. We were thinking about maybe SR20, swapping in a different motor other than that, and just doing something cool and crazy to this thing. Before I got the shop, Junior and I were having a conversation about building his truck, and he wanted me to build something crazy. He wanted me to do like a SR20 swap, maybe a dual cam KA, try to go all out on his truck because this thing is immaculate. I'll give you guys a little rundown a little later. After we were discussing everything and I was doing more research, I thought that it would be really cool if we just keep the single jingle KA and go crazy with that thing instead and make about like 300 to 400 horsepower. We've been planning this for a long time. I've been doing a ton of research trying to get everything dialed in so we know exactly what to do. I'm still gonna have to figure some things out along the way. This is going to be really fun. I've never messed with a mini truck. John and I are going to be pulling the motor out today. Junior's gonna be coming by later as well. Hopefully he's going to be learning a lot off of this. And we have a lot of parts to play with already, but the main goal is just pull the motor out, strip it down, and get it ready for the machine shop. But let me give you guys a better runaround because I know the video we posted a little while back, we gave you guys a walk around, but it wasn't the best. Junior said it was resprayed. I think the original color was like a dark gray or black, and they did a really good job on this. Like, finding a good paint job is very hard nowadays, so seeing this thing done just so well. The gaps on the panels and taillights just look amazing. Like, this truck is a very clean slate to put something cool in it. What's cool about this truck is it's not the base model, so it actually includes an RPM gauge on the cluster. You can always get an aftermarket gauge if your truck doesn't have it, but it's just cool that it already does because we're going to be running a plug and play standalone, so that's going to make things way easier. We don't have to run too many gauges on this thing, and it's just a cleaner look. This is the same motor we're going to be building, and it does have good compression, it does run well, and he beats the living crap out of it. So everything should be fine. You know, all we need to do is just tear it down and send it to a machine shop. But the plans for this is going to be a T3, T4 hybrid turbo. We're gonna be running a cast manifold. We're going to be swapping over the truck intake manifold with the KA from the 240s. So that's going to be really nice because it's going to be front facing. And aside from that, we have a bunch of bits for this motor. There's a company called Nice Time Racing. They do really cool stuff to these things. I didn't realize how much boosted single cam KAs there are out there. Just no one really talks about them up until now. I've been starting to see a lot more, which is really nice. Junior is spending a lot of money to get this thing where he wants it, and that's good because when you have a solid foundation, a solid plan, and you have good reliable parts, then we should run into fewer issues. So that's kind of the goal with this thing, is trying to make it reliable enough where he can beat on it as much as he wants. So with that being said, we're taking this to the machine shop so we can do forged internals. And we are going to be keeping it around like 8:1 compression ratio. We're gonna be doing HBM rods and some ARP head studs. We don't have an engine hoist here, so I went to go pick one up today, and a tripod because I cannot find mine. So we can set up a little time lapse for whenever we do bigger things. Sup, Papa?
What's going on?
You went to the gym with John?
Yeah, I think it's pulsing in my too.
You're getting old, fool.
I know.
I'm gonna be setting up the truck, getting it ready. So I'm gonna put it on jack stands and pretty much time lapse us starting to remove everything. We gotta drain the coolant, drain the oil, start pulling the radiator out, all the hoses, and harness, start disconnecting everything, because the issue with these trucks, which is why we ended up keeping the KA, is that the engine harness is one piece with the main body. So if we wanted to swap it, we would have to do a lot more wiring than what we're doing now. Everything's, for the most part, going to be plug and play. So let's get to work. Taking off the harness. This is a relatively small harness, so at least that's going to be easy. But what I'm going to be doing is at least labeling the things that I do know what they are, so like the injectors, the throttle body, position sensor. Just start labeling everything with a piece of tape, and then when we go to put it back on to the motor, once it's been refreshed, we at least know where everything is. And then I'm also going to be re-lubing the whole harness, and most likely replacing some connectors because they are going to be breaking.
Is he going to try to do some kind of wire cut on this?
We're gonna attempt to. Like, it's not gonna be like anything crazy, but like I think the like whole goal is to kind of rip apart the harness with the new motor in. That's gonna be like fucking around with it, you know? So cut the harness out and then kind of like tuck it wherever we need, where we're gonna do it, and then tape it up right there. Am I catching it
No,
on
you're
there?
not. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Oh, shit. What the fuck?
I got it. I know you got it.
Oh, dude. This fucker. That fucking guy got me wet. It's not my favorite. You know you know.
What did you say? Oh, I thought we were both flexing. The thing is, it's gonna leak. You gotta lay it down like this, flat. Yeah. Everything on the driveline is removed. We have the transmission cross member removed, and we have fuel line, starter out. Obviously the harness is out, AC is out. The problem with these old motors is that there's fucking vacuum hoses everywhere, and they're very like unorganized with how shit goes and how shit's routed. Especially with the harness. There's like two harnesses that are separate, you know, one to the starter, alternator, and all that stuff, but that still routes through, that we had to disconnect, and that goes all the way through the transmission for like the speed sensors and stuff. There's very few things to pull out now. The power steering lines are removed as well. Oh my God. Be careful. I'll tilt it up. Ready? Okay, so the motor's out. Shout out to Danny for helping us out. We had to like tilt it towards the driver's side to kind of nail everything out, and then Chach was actually in there pushing down on the trans. Hey, where's John at?
He's under there still taking off the dry shaft.
It made a huge mess on our beautiful epoxy floor, so the best thing to do right now is take it off the jack stands now that we don't really need them, and then push it outside, start removing anything that we need to, start mopping, cleaning everything up, and then that's when we can start disassembling the motor, because I rather just the motor make a mess, you know, while we're disassembling stuff there in one controlled portion than everything that was on the ground. Because how much quarts did we lose of oil? Probably like 2 quarts, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. 2 quarts. Just dumped everything. Okay guys, this is pretty much all wrapped up. Wrapping up the day, the whole shop is cleaned up. Pulling out the motor wasn't difficult, but it was tedious, especially because this is a truck, so little things are different, and this intake manifold sucked ass. So getting the wiring harness out of the way wasn't bad. It's more of just the whole mess that comes along with this ugly thing. Luckily, we're going to be removing it, putting in the 240 manifold to clean things up, which is over here in the parts cleaner. We're going to be degreasing it, taking apart all the vacuum hoses, and trying to delete as much as possible. The next video, we're going to be taking the trans off the motor, putting the motor on the engine stand, which we're going to be getting rid of the old spare motor, and starting to strip it down, which is going to be fun because it's the next step. Luckily, this motor is relatively clean and it is very healthy, so stripping it down won't be an issue. You know, we have already done one and this one looks a lot easier than the other one. We got a lot done today and that's all that matters. We also had time to clean up the shop and start putting things where they belong, which is what I wanted to do as well. And even though the shop isn't completely done with the renovations and everything that we're going to be doing, I still want to start banging out work and getting videos done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoy what's going to come. Comment down below what other things you want to see and what you want to see from this truck, because I'm sure Junior would like to see, you know, recommendations and everything. Don't forget, I do import parts, so if you guys are looking for something, check my website. I have a couple parts for IS300s and just universal things, and I'll be getting more stuff in as things start selling. And secondly, I am a dealer for AMSOIL, so if you guys need any of that stuff, I can beat online prices. On that note, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys on the next one.